Hello, this is the streaming service with me, Justin Hill, with a video that's the equivalent to the TV guide of yesteryear. I'll give you the rundown on everything worth watching that has landed on streaming services recently, plus catch you up on all the behind-the-scenes news that you may have missed. This week, just how naked does Harry Styles get in his new movie? The White Lotus shows off its cast's massive talent, and Pamela Anderson lets us into her Garden of Eden. So as it turns out, Season 2 of The White Lotus has not only changed locations, it's also showing off some pretty impressive BDE. That's Big Dick Energy for those playing along at home. Mostly from actor Theo James, who plays the role of rich douchebag Cameron in the show. Now, if you're looking to fast forward past it or perhaps pause, rewind and watch it again for educational research purposes like some of us did, then watch out for Little Theo. Actually, it's more like Big Theo in episode 1. If you love season 1, then you're going to love season 2 even more. It's raunchier, it's naughtier, and it's set in Sicily. This season sees fan favourite Jennifer Coolidge return as Tanya, but without her mum's ashes this time though, as well as a bunch of new cast members who include brand new billionaires, cash-strapped singers, and grandpas on the prowl.
Are these the kind of people we're going to be hanging out with now?
Did you vote, babe? Be honest.
I did. Didn't I?
Doesn't matter.
Flirting is one of the pleasures of life.
You're 80 years old.
But the women I desire remain young. You can relate to that.
It's been a series of very bad decisions.
You've had very bad luck. The best thing about luck is it can always change.
Fun fact, the hotel in Sicily that this show was filmed at for this season, the San Domenico Palace, has become so popular after fans heard about filming, it's fully booked until April 2023. So just for context, if you want to live it up like Jennifer Coolidge, their most expensive suite is around $7,500 a night. Also, if you're wondering why it's such a good show, it's made by the same guy who created Dawson's Creek. Makes a lot of sense now, doesn't it? You can catch season 2 of The White Lotus on Binge now and set your reminder for new episodes as they drop every Monday. I'm giving this one 8 eggplants out of 10. Continuing our saucy theme today, I know 2 things are for certain when it comes to Harry Styles and his new movie, My Policeman. How's his acting? And just how naked does he get? Well, I am here to do the people's work, and now that I've seen the movie, I can report back to you that we get to see exactly 1.5 butt cheek flashes. So just to clarify, that's 1 whole butt in one scene and just a cheek in another. When it comes to his acting, he's surprisingly good. Harry's butt cheeks and a few steamy sex scenes aside, it's actually a really good movie. It's heartbreaking and moving, and it might even have you reaching for the tissues. The story revolves around Tom, and we see his life play out in a series of flashbacks where we go back to the 1950s, where young Tom is played by Harry. So his character is a policeman who happens to fall in love with 2 people, his girlfriend Marion and museum curator Patrick.
This love is all-consuming. I pity people who don't know what it feels like to be this in love. Come with me, just you and I.
He's trying to destroy our marriage.
No hiding, no lies.
You know nothing about being married to... Stop telling me what I'm supposed to think about it.
He was always in your life, in our lives.
Fun fact about this movie, the cast includes a fab lineup of queer stars, including non-binary actor Emma Corrin, gay actors Rupert Everett and David Dawson, and well, there's Harry, and we sort of don't really know what's going on there, but it's none of our business anyway. Also, I want you to keep an eye out for the scene with Marion's best friend at the school. Out of everything in this film, that had my bottom lip quivering. You can check out My Policeman on Amazon Prime Video now. I'm giving this one 8 rainbows out of 10. From Harry Styles' Peach to a Garden of Eden, I want to introduce you to your new favourite reality TV star, Pamela Anderson. We meet Pammy on her 6-acre property in Canada that she's owned for over 20 years now, and she's decided it's time to slow run towards a new reality series and the renovation of her dreams. Now listen, I wanted to hate this show before I watched it, and don't get me wrong, there are definitely a few things that are going to raise your eyebrows. You know, like the twitter of birds as the sun sprinkles through the grassy paddock, only to be interrupted by a high heel wearing Pam who's forgotten to wear pants. Or the fact that one of the things on her to-do list is to plant a rose garden to sprinkle her parents' ashes on, but they're still alive. And in this show, But you can't help but fall in love with Pam and her tradie hubby Dan, didn't even know she was married by the way, as she tells us about her life away from Hollywood, finds her designer gumboots and sips rosé.
After the life I've had in Hollywood and all over the world, to come back in one piece is pretty much a miracle. I could bring some of the glamour that I've experienced in my life here. I am a designer myself and a creator and an artist, so I have a lot of ideas.
Can't believe it, no gloves?
No gloves. I do crazy things my whole life. I'm not going to stop now.
If you've ever wanted to see Pamela Anderson get excited over panties... Sorry, this is pantry. See her swan around in numerous linen dresses and retell stories about the time she got lit with Sting at a party in Ibiza, then you should absolutely check out Pamela's Garden of Eden on Foxtel and Binge, with episodes out now. And also, just a warning, this is probably quite different to any of those other movies of Pamela that you might have seen. This one gets 7 bikinis out of 10. It just so happens that all of the movies and shows that I've talked about today are full up to pussy's bow with beautiful people, and we all know how difficult it is being really, really ridiculously good looking. That's why you'll be pleased to know that Zoolander is turning 21 this week, and it's the perfect time to rewatch it and practice your blue steel. Fun fact about this movie, in the opening scene where Derek loses the award for Model of the Year, that was shot in an actual awards ceremony in the commercial breaks. It was the 2000 VHS Vogue Fashion Awards and they needed a bunch of models, so it was the perfect place to shoot it. Also, the name Derek Zoolander is actually based on the names of 2 real-life models, Mark Vanderloo and Johnny Zander. Who knew? You can check out Zoolander on Apple TV, Binge or Foxtel now. Oh, sorry. Hello? Oh yeah. No, I'm just filming now. Sure. In announcements this week, get ready to move back in with one of your favourite dysfunctional families. Malcolm in the Middle is coming back. Now, you might remember Frankie Muniz. He was the star of the original series that ran for like 6 years in the early 2000s. Well, he recently let slip that Bryan Cranston, who we've now come to know and love from Breaking Bad, is working on a script for a reboot. So Frankie, who is now 36 and a dad himself, yes, I know, it makes us feel old, doesn't it? He played the role of Malcolm and he said he's never even watched an episode of the show up until recently, but he would absolutely be on board for the new show and find out what his character is up to. You might remember in the finale he was heading to Harvard University, but who knows what Bryan has in mind. Fun fact, Frankie made about $40 million from his time on that show, so he's not doing it for the coin. Also, for years it was said that he suffered from memory loss due to mini strokes he had when he was younger, but he recently clarified that, saying he was actually misdiagnosed and he was having aura migraines, and that his memory loss was more associated with the fact that his childhood and acting career kind of blended into one sometimes. So he's not super clear on what happened in his life versus what his character did on the show. Hollywood, don't you love it? While we wait for the Malcolm in the Middle reboot, you can watch the original series on Disney Plus now. And if you want a very quick rundown on everything that's worth watching for the month of November on each platform, you can follow me on TikTok at @just_Hill now. That's all for this week from me. I will, of course, be back next week with all the latest news on the biggest TV shows and movies to hit your favourite streaming platforms. Make sure you subscribe to the streaming service on the LiSTNR app to be the first to hear it, and I'll see you next time.
LiSTNR.